All right, everybody. I know this is a little bit different than the normal style we normally do in the morning here. And my chat jumped all at once, so I want to say hello to everybody. Justin and Christina's RV van life. Hello. Hello, meant to be our being. Thank you, Gina Payne, for the raid over here. Hello, Ardez. How are you doing? K&R Destinations is here. Nice to see you guys. Melnetti is here. And Van Life with Gina Payne. I'll pull her up here too. Guys, jumping so much here. Van
Wow.
Life with Gina Payne.
I got a few people from my channel too. I got here Nicole,
Oh,
Raspberry Rock, Laj DIY, Brothers Campin'. Hey guys.
yeah. Oh, my goodness. Hello, on Rolling Through Reality. You were actually, we were talking about you guys before we started here about how you went from a van to a homestead. So
Awesome.
that is awesome. And thank you, all you guys, for being here. Um, and I want to introduce you guys that don't know to Mallory from Quebec Homestead. I came across her channel. It probably popped up in my suggestions. Um, and came across your channel, went into your live, and I really liked how you engaged with your audience over there. And actually, I popped out because I'm usually talking to a lot of other live streams at the same time. And the next time I came back, you said, "Hey, I'm sorry I didn't say hi to you right away." And I thought that was really cool. And one of the things that I like about your channel is that you put your own personality in your videos. It's not just about your homestead stuff.
Aw, thanks.
So, was that like, what was the reason for your? I know you did it with other people on your stream too, but what was your reasoning like for starting the channel in the first place?
All right. Man, I did a live stream on that the other day and I feel like I don't even remember what I said. I don't know if you guys watched that one, but I had a
I
few
don't
beers
know what
in me.
that says, but you
Yeah.
probably do.
Well, I started my YouTube channel for a few reasons. In the beginning, it was just like to connect with my friends and family because they're all over the globe. I have family everywhere in Alaska, in Vancouver, in the States. I even have family in Ecuador. And so it was just like my way to connect with them and show them what I was doing because they're all like, hey, what are you doing out there? Because you're like in the middle of nowhere and like with your family and stuff. And so I started doing those videos. And then along the way, I met a whole bunch of really cool people. And then I noticed that like I had a whole bunch of engagement with the viewers and everything. And so I was like, man, I got it. I think I got something, you know? And so things went, time went by. And then, Ben has a really bad back. He had an accident in Afghanistan. And we're trying to build this homestead with one salary. And I have two young kids. So I have that government the money that's coming in for the two young kids. And so it's like, I think about $600 a month that I get for that until like the kids are 5 or 6 years old, until they go into school. And so I wanted to find a way to bring in that income for when the kids do go to school so I can be able to continue, like having this quality of life with, so I was just figured if I can make like a little, even $300 a month, I mean, I'd be happy. So it started like that. And then I guess things just sort of went from there. And then if I'm able to make more, then I'm going to hire somebody to help us out on the farm because it's a lot for two people. I don't know if you guys been following me a little bit, but we got a lot of stuff to do. And we're very limited with what we can do with the kids at home. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it now.
Yeah. And thank you for running a link. And moderators, remember to run your guys' links too while you're in there, please. Um, and you're talking about a lot of work. Now, when I was a little kid, I used to love watching This Old House. So for me, not only is it cool watching your homestead stuff and watching you grow stuff, but your house is what 1800s was built.
So in the first papers that we have, it's in 1886. So that's the first like documentation, but I know that this house was probably moved because there's an old foundation up on the top of the hill, which I sort of sometimes wish it was still up there. But yeah, so I think they moved it, but that, like on the first papers, it's 1886. I just want to say hi because I got a whole bunch of people from my channel that are in
Go
the
ahead.
chat.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Anton
Say
in
hi to.
Alaska. I see Will from Miss. He changed his channel. He used to be Dammits, but now it's Mitts. And I see Man Be Ready. Whole bunch of people. Awesome. Quebec Raid. Sean in Alaska. Hey, you guys are so cool to be here.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for coming in. One of the things that you found in your house now, it's that old, so I don't. I'm going to guess it was Franklin Roosevelt that was in that paper, but it could have been Teddy. When you're pulling off those walls, like, has there been anything that you've read in there that has just been amazing to see from a newspaper back then?
Well, I mean, here, I'll just get, they're right in back of me. There's only one article that I was able to read out of it, and it's all in French, of course, but um, it's it got me to be able to figure out what year the wallpaper was installed on there, and so that article pretty much explained that this lady had like I think 65 descendants, and she was still alive, and like how many generations were in her family and stuff, and so that was pretty cool. Like those big families back then, which really like my grandma and my grandpa here in Quebec had 17 kids, so we have a really big family, and like back then the church would pay you to have kids, like literally here in Quebec. I don't know if that was everywhere, but here we have a lot of families.
Yeah,
So
what my great grandma and grandpa had 13, and then my grandparents had 6. In my family, there's 7. So
yeah.
we always had a lot of kids. And I have to say, your kids are pretty funny there. And like I said, I call it an eagle. Now, what is the name for it that you call it up there? The the I call it an igloo, but it was where you built
Oh,
the
the
snow.
Quincy.
Quincy, the
Yeah, the
Quincy.
Quincy. Yeah, it's a Quincy. There's a this it's like an igloo, but it's just instead of like having blocks of snow, you make a big mound of snow and then you dig into it.
Yeah, if you guys go check out her channel, it's on her. I think it's your best. You call it your best of playlist.
Yeah, my
Uh,
favorites.
yeah, yeah. If you guys go check that out, and watch it till the end, because this girl right here, she can sing. She can sing really really well.
Yeah, I got copyrighted on that one.
That's how well she sang. See, she got copyrighted from her singing. So definitely go check that out. And we do karaoke around here on Sundays on a live stream. So
Yeah.
you'll have to come back around sometime for that.
I have a Russ, Raspberry Rock Off Grid Cabin. He says, I dated a girl from Saint Eustache. Both her mom and dad came from 17 and 18 kid families. That's amazing.
Wow.
Both.
Wow. Well, I think the most amazing part of that is that the woman that has that many kids.
Oh my gosh. My grandma always said that she never felt better than when she was pregnant. I mean, she was
Wow.
pregnant all her adult life, you know? So, I mean, I don't know.
Well, if you never
That
felt
wasn't my
better than
case.
when you're pregnant, that would probably why you don't want to be pregnant all the time, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what has been your favorite part so far on YouTube? Like either somebody that commented or just a cool thing that you've had happen so far that you were blown away that's happened.
Okay, well, recently, well, I met a few really cool people like Mark from Rolling Homestead that's in here. I consider him a really good friend now. Like he's got a homestead and we've been talking and I got this wood squad that I've met and so I met this community. Like I met them, I think I was like at 700 subscribers and like in a few months I gained like so much. I think I'm like at 1500 subscribers now. So it really grew fast in that point. And so like you meet these people and then they're like, "Hey, go see Quebec Homestead and stuff." And they're really genuine nice people. So that's the thing that blew my mind was to meet all these really cool people. Now you and it's just, like the community that I just don't know why I didn't start sooner, as for that.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, the people. I mean, I first came into a community that was started by channel Blue Wave Odyssey, and a lot of us have kept that going. And then I've started to get my own community of people that come into my channel too. So it's been really amazing. And I agree with you. Like I've met people and all that kind of stuff. Well, not in person yet. We plan to, but that I probably would have never talked to. Like
Yeah.
until I started my channel, I didn't really know anybody in Canada, and now talking to you and other people that I know, and then other places in the on Earth is kind of crazy to think about.
It is, and then with everything going on in the world right now, you can sort of stay connected through the world, through YouTube, through the people that you met, and so I think that's just so cool. It's so interesting, just, like, having that connection. It's like I hopped on your stream before hopping off live, and I felt like I knew you already. So it's like, and then I hopped off to go get me a drink, and I came back, and I was like, "Hey, well, by the way, it's really nice to meet you."
Yeah,
So it's like we hop on, we see each other's faces. It's like we already know each other in a certain way.
yeah, and it's like you're saying, you already knew each other because I mean, you kind of sit there and watch the other person's life, so it's kind of like you don't have to do any catching up. Almost kind of like, what have you been up to? Well, I know what you've been up to. I watched your video.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, like if I don't film everything that I do here because I would literally burn out. You guys watching would probably burn out if I filmed everything that I do here. But like I set my mind to something. I say, okay, this week I'm doing this. I'm going to film that, and then that's it because it's just too much or else.
What's been the hardest thing to film, like that you filmed? Because I saw when you were up on the scissor lift, and it looked like you're a little scared of heights up there too. So was that hard to film at the same time?
Well, I mean, I just set it on the tripod, and I was like trying to do my thing. So, I mean, emotionally, it was hard because, yeah, when I start in the season and I start going up in heights, I get vertigo really bad. But then, like, it takes me a little while and then I get used to it and then I'm fine. But it's just like the initial jump to start, it's a little harder. Hardest thing that I've had to film, man, I would say, okay, hardest one I had to film was my brother's song. I filmed a video in the forest where I went dancing in the forest.
I saw that one. I
Okay.
didn't know that was your brother's song, but I like that song. That was good.
Yeah, I'm running in, I don't know, 6 feet of snow with my snowshoes on, and then I decide I'm just gonna take off my snowshoes and I'm just gonna see what it does. And so I hop off, and the first step that I take, I dive down all the way to here in snow. And like, because there was a tree that had fallen down, and through the branches, like the snow was covering it, so I didn't see. And so I fell through the branches. Oh my gosh, that was like I actually got scared because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get out. So I was trying to crawl myself back up. And so I think that was the hardest one for me to film. Yeah.
Oh, uh, Raspberry Rock off grid. He wants to know if you dream in French or English.
I dream in color. So
Ooh.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, seriously, I don't remember if I dream in English or in French because I'm so fluent in both languages. That's a good question. I don't know.
And we were talking earlier about the Shed Wars, and Willa Grow decided to pop in here. He's never popped in here before. Hello, Willa Grow. Um, and this is actually, you set a record for me, so thank you for getting all these people in here because it's 37
Awesome.
people.
Yeah. Hey, bye, Mark. He's going back to work. Have a good night.
They had a muck. What this is, I'm always curious, and it's been a lot. People have had the same answer, but when what subscriber number or whatever did you hit that you thought, I can't believe that many people are interested in what I'm doing?
A one? No, 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 I'm just kidding. 100 was like the first milestone that I was like, oh, okay. I have 100 people following me, because I had been on YouTube for a little while. And even though I had like 700, 800 Facebook friends, and I've been sharing it out and I was trying to promote it, I was like, well, nothing's happening, you know? And so when I hit that initial 100 and I knew that it was not people from my Facebook friends or whatnot, I was like, oh, okay, so these are 100 new people? Like, that blew my mind.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. So 100 was my biggest one.
Right. Um, that's what a lot of people have said too. I've had one person say 1,000, but most people say 100. You know,
Yeah.
it's I don't know if it's just psychologically that's when you think of the 100 people, it's kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah. Pete says I was one of those 100. That's so cool. Yeah, Pete's been with me for a long time. He's like I joined the small homesteaders community when I was under 100. I think I was like at 36 subscribers. Yeah, so I met a whole bunch of really cool people in that community, and they bumped me up to 100 real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What when you think of how you've grown so far, um, where do you see yourself going to in the future? Like, where do you want your where's your goal for the rest of this year? I guess I should say, because you're at 1,500 now. Like for me, I'd like to get 1,000 by the end of the year. But like, where's your goals at now?
Well, my goal right now is to be monetized. My goal is not even in the subscribers; it's to get that watch time. I'm really trying to make better videos so that people want to watch me longer until the end, so I can get finally monetized because I've got that big, 1,000 mark milestone already. And
Right.
so I wanted to just like jump to that next level and get that monetization and be able to, if people want to send me super chats or all that stuff, then they can do that. um Raspberry Rock actually, he says shoot for 1 million. I've been joining in on his live streams. He's got like, I think, I don't know, there was like 300 people on his live stream the other day, and he's got these really cool special features. And he plays music that, like, you're not, you would get totally copyrighted, but he gets these super chats. And I thought that was so cool because, like, I do live streams not necessarily to, like, eventually I'm not going to do them to make money. I'm going to do them for, to meet people, engage with people. And so I really like his concept of that, and then he gets these super chats. And I gave him one the other day. I think I sent him like $10. And so I thought that was a really cool concept. Anyways, so
Yeah.
my goal is to be monetized. So like I'm at 2,400 hours right now. So
Well, if you guys like what she's said so far, and you went over and checked out her channel, run her playlist. Let's help her get her watch hours, go in her live streams, all that kind of stuff. Because her quality of the content she's putting out and all that kind of stuff is it. You deserve to be monetized at this point for sure. And like we were talking before, uh, you shot a bunch of stuff and it had the wind and stuff in it, and you cut a bunch of content out.
yeah.
And that shows where you're at as far as your level of stuff in YouTube. It shows that you're ready for that step.
Yeah, man, like I just posted a video today in my French video and I was planting tomatoes and I just changed my setup and I got a new phone and I'm not able to set up my mic on my new phone because I need an adapter. And so like I was watching it and I was like, "Oh man, like I don't even know if I'm going to post this." There's a little bit of wind, so I added music in the worst parts and I cut out my audio. And so I tried to tweak it that way, but yeah, I really need that adapter because I have a hard time watching videos when there's wind in it. So I'm not gonna make my viewers, you know, have to deal with that. And I looked through my older videos where I didn't have a mic and I'm like, "Ooh, I can't even watch this?"
Right. Right. Yeah.
So
Speaking of which, I talked to people before, and try to tell them just get started because your first ones are going to suck. And I'm sure you feel that way about your first videos that you've done too. Like they're not as great as you would have liked to have had them be compared to where you're at now.
yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like my first ones, I would literally like I didn't even have an editing software. So I would just like go around, do a tour of my farm, and then it'd say, okay, well, I'm going to walk for 10 minutes, talk to you, and then show you guys stuff. And then I'm going to, press stop and then upload it. And then the first video that I really edited was like my quackgrass video. It's the first one that I actually put a song in it. And, I did like a little montage. I was really, I was really happy with my first edited video. And,
Right.
like I'm still really happy with it. I think it's in my favorite playlist actually. And then after when I changed my camera, I got this thing and there was no external mic on it. And so I just rolled with it. But yeah, like the editing's fine. The sound, the audio, meh, meh.
Right. Right. And it's like, what has been the steepest learning curve for you? Like, has it been editing? Has it been how you shoot it? Like, what has been the most difficult thing to learn as far as your videos go?
I think it'd be like my intros and my outros and my thumbnails, man. I always like still to this day, I will forget to do a stupid thumbnail. I forget every single time. So I like have to scroll through my video and then print out a video from a photo from my video. And yeah, that's definitely like it just won't get in. It just won't get in there. I will literally just stop recording, go edit, and I'm like, oh, not again.
Yeah,
But like
that.
the editing process, it went pretty smooth actually. I have a really easy software. It's called Shotcut. It's completely free on my PC. Um, but yeah, that actually went pretty smooth. There's really good tutorials on YouTube, so I learned from myself because I never touched any editing software whatsoever before. But that's just it's getting a lot easier.
Yeah. What what has been a video that you thought was going to turn out better as far as idea wise in your head, and it didn't turn out so well? And like, what's one that you thought was a simple idea and you ended up putting more into it and it turned out better than you thought it was going to be?
Oh man, okay. I'm just gonna go to my channel because I got so many of them. So one that I thought was gonna be way better, like you mean performance wise?
No, when you were thinking about the video, like creativity wise, I guess you'd say.
Mm, man, I'd have to think about that one. Creativity wise, because I vlog a lot, so
Mhm.
if I go into my creative videos, because I do have a few of those, like I have a long winter, y'all. So
If you don't, if you
sometimes,
don't know, which I'm
uh,
really impressed that you homestead with, because your growing season probably is one of the shortest growing seasons out of homesteaders that I've seen.
yeah, zone 3 is really challenging. I mean, I don't even have a greenhouse yet, a proper greenhouse, which eventually it will have to be in in the plans, but for now we need to get set up for our horses. And, like we've only been here for 3 years, so we need to set up for my horses and get the firewood because we have 200 acres of land. So Ben actually does all the harvesting. He goes and cuts it down, he harvests it, he brings it back, he processes it, and then if I'm there and if I'm really not good with firewood, so he'll bring it all in and we have to get in 16 cords for a year for the house only. So, and last year we didn't even bring any for the garage because Ben was just so burnt out. So, um, then I do the gardening. So yeah, the greenhouse is a little far in the priority list. So I have really, really, really big gardens. So I plant a lot of stuff, and I don't really worry about my timings so much as for the quantities. So, um, as long as I don't plant too late, but like it's still not too bad. I have like a good, if I push it, I could probably get like 100 days of growing, but that's with my interior. I have my lights back here. So I can grow 100-day crops, but I have to start them beforehand.
Right,
Yeah.
right, and that's, I mean, and the fact of the matter that you do like a lot of the stuff yourself. I'm really impressed with that because I especially like to see women do that kind of stuff on YouTube. because I think it helps, especially younger women, younger girls, and stuff like that, see that they don't have to be limited in whatever they want to do in life. Like my baby sister played football 4 years in high school because none of us ever told her, well, you can't play football. So I think it's really cool to see you do stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I was raised by my dad on a homestead. So I learned a lot of stuff, growing up, and I've always been like a tomboy. And so like I do a lot a lot of men work around here. I'm lazy though, so sometimes sometimes I don't want to do it. Sometimes I don't. But yeah, I got to take care of the kids a lot too.
Right.
So, I mean, it's hard. Like, we're here full time. So, some days you are lazy. Sometimes you just don't want to do it. But you mean, if you don't do it, you don't have any heat for the house. You don't have any food. You don't have, so yeah, it's a hard life.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sean in Alaska says, Quebec Homestead, really? How long is your winter? Because he's in Alaska. But
Hmm.
fun fact, my brother's in Alaska. He's in Soldotna. And my growing season is shorter than his because I'm in zone 3 up in the mountains and he's in zone 4, which is not too far from Sean. So my winter's probably longer than you, Sean.
And be ready today. Yes, women are a lot stronger than they get credit for in society. I agree with that 100%. Um, when you look at where you're at now, as far as not just YouTube, but like your homestead and stuff like that, is it much farther along than you thought it would be at this point, or are you about where you wanted to be?
Oh man, it's not far along at all as where I want it to be. That's like one of the things that we realize is that we have this big list. And like when we got here, we were really ambitious. We wanted to do a lot of stuff and get a lot of stuff done. But the winter really does handicap us. And, we're covered in snow for almost 8 months of the year. So our time to get all our constructions, our infrastructures and stuff done are during the summertime, and in the fall. But yeah, man, that list, if it gets halfway through, we're really lucky. So
Right.
everything is much longer to get done here. So I'm not at all at a place where I'm like, okay, we've been here for 3 years and like my house is a construction site. It's been a construction site and it's going to stay a construction site for a long time until I get money to get help to finish it, because Ben with his back is not able to do everything, the firewood and all that stuff, plus the construction. Um, like last year, we started doing our wall, our exterior wall. So we got everything undone. And then we had to hire somebody in the dead of winter because we were getting cold to finish it up because we were just not able to do it anymore. And,
Right.
you don't want to burn out either. So,
Yeah. And then you burn out, and then you don't want to do your YouTube either, and all that kind of stuff, and it just bleeds over into everything.
yeah.
And I understand about having a bad back because I've got 2 metal discs in my neck, so I understand what he's going through. Like you,
Yeah.
and he was probably like I was when I was younger, and just an ox and able to do all this kind of stuff. So it probably really gets on him to not be able to do all that kind of stuff around there as well.
Yeah. I mean, he's a 31-year-old in a 71-year-old man's body. So, I mean, he had it hard. He literally was hit by an IED in his convoy in Afghanistan. So, I mean, yeah. And over there, they were, he was in 2007, so he was hauling these big bombs because he was in our artillery.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much they weigh, like 100 something pounds. So they're just one after another. He came back with like big arms, and he's a small man. He's not like one of those big buff 6 foot guys. He's
Right.
5'7".
Oh, my light
You're
just
right.
went out. Yeah. Oh, my
Your
bad.
chat's really interactive. I've been trying to
Yeah.
trying to keep up, but man, you guys
Yeah.
are
They usually do. I got it back on there. I don't think my battery didn't go dead. It just timed out. I guess I'd had it on too long. Yeah, there's a lot of people that come in and chat, and they all get to know each other. All talk to each other. It's really awesome, and I'm glad. All the people that I have in my community, it's, a lot of them are RV and stuff like that. Some of them aren't, but definitely check each other out. Oh, I guess I am running out of battery.
Nope.
I'll just scoot up closer then. All right. Well,
Will Miskmitz, he's in 8B, zone 8B. He just found out. That's an awesome zone to be in. That's so hot. If we move, we're going to move to somewhere hotter.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, it's only so hot in Canada, though, I guess. Only so far south you can go and get so hot. So, and Simple Life Reclaimed. They said thank your husband for his service, and they're actually homesteaders. They just found the property they're going to move to, but they're in Arizona, so they have the opposite thing of you, where all summer they are dealing with no water, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
When we kind of talked about homestead channels you like and all that kind of stuff beforehand, but was coming from the homestead background something that you wanted to get back to?
You mean I've watched a whole bunch of channels beforehand?
Yeah, like you watched. Was you going to homesteading? Was it because you enjoyed it when you were younger, or was it because you saw that and got back into it?
Okay. No, yeah, it was definitely a dream of mine. I've always had horses. And I was raised on a homestead with an orchard, with a garden, with a greenhouse. And so I wanted my kids to be raised in a similar environment. And so I had actually built a brand new homestead. 3 years ago when we moved here, we were still there, and we spent 4 years building it from the ground up. And we moved because Ben was liberated from the army, and it was too small. So we decided to upgrade. So we went from 6 acres to 200 acres to an old falling apart house, and the buildings too. So we have to renovate everything. And yeah, so I just wanted my kids to live a little bit of the same thing that my dad made me experience. So I got an orchard, got a greenhouse, gardens, got horses, chickens. Raspberry Rock says if I've ever tripped on a chicken and done a front flip and walked away as if nothing ever happened. No, that never happened. But Ben stepped on a snake right next to the garden today, and he jumped back. Man, that was crazy.
I'll bet. How do your kids enjoy being out there? Do they? Because you said 200 acres. Do they kind of miss, or not miss, but kind of get jealous of not having friends close by to go hang out with?
No, actually, we have little kids in our street. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 houses in my street. And so the first house on the end, we actually went to her birthday party this weekend. She's the same age as my oldest, so she's 5 years old. And they have a little kid, a little boy too, who's a year younger than my youngest. And so the other house down has a little boy that's 1 year older. He's 6 years old. So they have plenty of friends in the street, which is pretty cool. I'm going to have a whole bunch of help to help bring in the hay once it's that time of the year when they're a little older. So no, they really, really do enjoy it. And they never knew anything else either. They were born on a homestead. So, I mean, I don't think they see a difference at all.
Yeah. What's one? And you said you were talking earlier before we came on, and you said that your wood milling one, you were surprised that did the best out of your videos.
Yeah, I am actually, because I was actually filming that with an old crappy phone with the front-facing camera, because I'm really bad. I use the front-facing camera because I need to see myself. And like I don't have a good DSLR camera with that, flippy screen. And
Mm.
so I was using that with like I can't even put an end screen on it because the format doesn't fit. And so like it's my best performing video and I can't even put an end screen on it. So, I mean, but that one's the one that's performing the best. I mean, woman milling, I guess people like that. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's and that's wood that you've used for the house, right?
Actually, it
You
was
know,
for my horse stalls. I needed a last beam for my horse stall, and so I don't know, I was feeling it that day, and I was like, "You know what? I'm just gonna get back into it, and I'm gonna go big with the trying something for the first time on my own." So I got the mill running and got the chainsaw and the excavator, and I was like, "Yeah, I can do this. I got this." So, yeah.
now have you named that excavator yet, or is it still X whatever numbers?
Okay. When okay, well, I went out one night. I went out one night and I was just starting my YouTube channel and I was with my girlfriends and I was getting a little tipsy and I said, one night, one day, I'm gonna be the next Céline Dion on YouTube." So I think I'm gonna call her Cillian.
you 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 could also name it oh, wasn't it her husband that was with her for a while that was
Renee.
also, yeah, you can name it Renee, and you'll be the Celine on the Renee.
Oh my
It does
god.
all the work and you get all the credit.
You know what, Bob? I think you just named my excavator. That is so funny.
Awesome. Awesome. Now you guys are all here when you see where the name came from.
That's so cool. You know what? I like that. Yep. I'm gonna go hop on Renee.
Now
I'm
don't
sorry.
tell Ben that you named him that yet, and just say that you're going to go do that, and he'll probably look at you like, "What are you talking about?"
Oh no. Oh, that's funny.
So, what is your favorite thing since you have such a long winter? What is your favorite thing to do in the winter and to film?
Um, well, my favorite thing to do in the winter is to sit on my couch and watch TV, honestly. Because our like I said, my crunch time short growing season is just so crazy that we need to recharge our batteries in the wintertime. But, and like we were really trying to go out with a skidder to get some skidder logging videos and stuff in the winter because that's the best time to go get firewood, right? But we had we had mechanic problems, and so we had to try to fix that. And, I don't know if you guys know what a skidder is, but you have two little holes that you have to put your hands through and then you're at -30. It's hard. It's hard to do mechanics in that environment, so, I mean, that was hard to film too. I tried filming a little bit of that, but that was really hard. Um, so yeah, wintertime is just, like, recharging my batteries. I don't know what I'm gonna be filming this winter. I know my skidder is in order, um, so I don't know. I got a drone too, so hopefully I'll be able to get some, like, aerial footage of us logging and stuff if it's not too windy because I got a really small, tiny, Mavic Mini. Um, but yeah, filming in wintertime really sucks because all the batteries die. It's you gotta have filming with a phone too. Like your phone will not last an hour outside. So,
Right.
I mean, I might have to upgrade into a better camera with really good battery life because that's why I got this one actually.
Just so that it's on its own and not
So I got that and I got 4 batteries for it, which if I film in a day, I will go through all 4 batteries
right.
and have to charge maybe. And they have really good battery life. So
Yeah. And Jason Crocker's in here now too. Hello, Jason. If you don't know who the Crockers is, there, Quebec.
I don't know.
He is a pretty funny guy, and he's got a good channel too. And he's got
Oh,
about, I think he just hit 65,000 subs.
wow.
So
Amazing.
yeah, when you look back at the start of your channel, um, what's one thing that you're really happy that you've done, and what's a mistake that you'd like to, that if you could tell yourself to avoid, if you could go back in time?
Okay, one thing that a mistake. Let's see. A mistake. Buying too much equipment. When like yeah, that's one thing that I mean, like I said, my mailing video was filmed with a cell phone, and it's my best performing video. Um, and I think that's just like yeah, I bought way too much equipment, spent way too much money, and putting your priorities. I was focusing too much on my channel and less on like my family life and stuff in the beginning because I was too excited. And so I think that was one thing that you need to learn how to pace yourself. Um, and find your priorities. Like now, my priority is my family. My kids are at home. If I don't get a video out there, it's not the end of the world, even though I have a schedule. So, yeah, I think that's one thing that I wish I would have known in the beginning was like to learn how to pace myself because I'm really passionate. Like I'm a passionate girl. And so when I do something, I will set my mind to it and I will put all my heart into it. So, yeah, pace yourself. That's one thing that I wish I would have done in the beginning. Then you asked one thing that I'm really happy with.
Yeah, that you're happy that you did. Maybe you took a chance on, or you're just happy with the way it's turned out so far.
I'm happy I started doing live streams. I'm really
Yeah,
happy I started doing live streams. These live streams are really cool. It's like the best way to engage with your audience, I think. And that's like what I have found that I wish I would have started earlier. I was too chicken. I was way too chicken. Like I would
yeah.
have to change my shirt like 5 minutes before because I was just like too sweaty. I was like, oh no. And I finally didn't click on that live button. So
And I was talking with Beyond Beauty 3 yesterday about that, and she just jumped right into live streaming, and she was afraid of talking. I'm like, that's kind of crazy to think about, like jumping out of a plane. Because I'm like you, like it's one thing to film a video, but
yeah,
when people are there interacting with you at the same time you're doing it, it's a whole different thing. It's really nervous to do.
it really is. It really is. But it turns out that you meet passion for hunting and fishing. Hey, Rocco. Okay, this is one guy. I'm sorry, I have to do this.
That's fine.
When before hitting my 1,000 subscribers, I was like at 900 and I don't know, 30 something. And he's like, okay, he's Italian, so he's got a really cool accent. He's like, okay, guys, I'm gonna do a live stream and I'm gonna push you to 1,000. And I was like, what? Like what? So I was really, really surprised. So he stayed live until I hit 1,000 subscribers. And that was
That
so cool.
that is awesome. And you keep breaking records for me, by the way. We're up at 45 now.
There you go.
So
Roko's probably got a raid going on.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
awesome.
Who's a YouTuber that you'd like to like meet or talk to on one of your live streams that you haven't yet?
Like going big, going like
Yeah, like somebody that like would be crazy for you to have the possibility to do now right now.
man, there's so many. There's so
Well, you
many.
can pick a few. I'm not going to make you just pick one and then
Okay.
make everybody
Well,
mad.
I mean, Roots and Refuge for sure would be one that I would really love to pick her brain. Um, man, I'm having such a big blank right now. There's so many of them. Somebody that yeah, I'm just gonna go with Roots and Refuge, and then I'm gonna think about that, and I'll be back because I knew there was one I was talking to Ben about it, and I just maybe it's because I'm live. I'm having a hard time thinking about it.
It's all
Um,
right.
there was one
That,
that I was like, man, I need to meet that girl.
that's
Oh,
that,
Jonah
that's a good one.
Jonah Jinton. Jonah Jinton would be like, I think, yeah, Jonah Jinton definitely because I really love what she does. I recently came upon her channel. I think she's like at 1,000,000 something subscribers. And she goes dancing in the forest a little bit like I do, and I was like, "Oh my gosh." Like, and she's got it. She's got that creative, she's got all that tech and those cameras and everything. Her quality video is just so amazing. And so, yeah, there you go.
What's been the funnest one that you filmed? Was that one where you were dancing, or was it
I mean,
a different?
in a way, yeah, it was the funnest and it was the hardest one for me to film. Like I don't know if you've seen you've seen it. You see me throwing a pumpkin inside the forest, and like I picked it out of the snow, and so I was giving the forest an offering, and it was like my way of thanking the forest. I don't know. I just really vibed with my forest that day, and that was the really like the funnest one for me to make. I think, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, my dancing videos that I do have been in the funnest. That's for sure. That's for sure. when when you set out to do your filming, like, is there a getting ready process, like, or on your lives, like, how do you prepare for it? Like, do you chill out, listen to music? Like, what do you usually do?
For my lives.
Yeah, your lives, or when you get ready to do your videos.
Okay, well, for my live streams, it's pretty straightforward now. I just, if I have a guest on, I'll connect with them like 15 minutes before, a little bit like we do. Nothing really complicated. Make sure that all the tech's working and stuff. Get the jitters out. But before going to film, I just film my life. So I don't really do anything like with that one dancing video. Actually, Ben's like, "Oh, I went to get the maple water." And the forest was so gorgeous, and I was like, "Really? Huh, I got an idea." So
Right.
so I just went, and it was really spontaneous. So, yeah, I don't do anything special. I for sure will choose what I wanna film before going out. I won't go out and, like, start filming my whole life, and then because then, like, I've done that in the past, and I got terabytes and terabytes of unused footage that sometimes I'll pop up with on my channel, like you saw my newspaper
Yeah.
on the wall. But, yeah, now I just choose a topic, and I say, "Okay, now I gotta do it in English and in French." So
Yeah. That's I kind of wanted to ask you about that because I mean, I'm not bilingual, but anybody that is able to do bilingual stuff, have you noticed a boost from having both French and English videos?
yes. Yes, definitely. The homesteading community in English is really big. So I've been having a hard time with my English videos to get them seen because there's just so many of them. The competition is really fierce. So I really try to make my content better and, just like to surpass myself on every video for that. And for the French, though, the France people are really excited about my content because they don't see too many people from Quebec filming in French. Usually the Quebec people will film in English because that's where the market is on YouTube. So there's really not many people in Quebec that are YouTubing in this niche. So I think I'm actually like I think there's one or two of them actually. That's it. So I mean, yeah, the French videos really helped. Definitely.
What do you what do you attribute your creativity to? Like, is it inspiration from other people's videos, or is it just just random thoughts like the forest thing where he comes in and says, "Hey, the forest looks really pretty today"? Is it just stuff like that that's you've enjoyed having your creativity started by?
It's really I really try to not inspire myself with other people's videos. I really try to make it my own flavor. So I know people in the beginning were like, "Oh, you want to make a video on that? Well, go search and go see what's out there and try to make it better, right?" But I was like, "You know what? I don't want to do that. I want to do me, you know?" So I think the tribute is me, is to be true to myself I don't want to show somebody that I'm not. Um, like I'm serious. I'm working in the garden in a damn bra, in a sports bra in my last video, and with a hat that says "Got beer." I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. My season is just too short. Like, I don't take vacation. I want to pretend that I'm on vacation. It's hot out, like, for once, So I'm like, I'm sorry if you don't like it, and that's it. But
Yeah, when you were up there on the lift, you were in looked like a swimsuit top, and
yeah,
I was kind of surprised that, and I was more like, man, you're gonna scratch yourself all up pulling the tar paper off the side.
I'm scratched up all summer long. I like, my legs are so scratched up. Like, there's hay all over my garden, and I'm in flip flops and in my shorts, and I'm scratching all my legs up. I'm the worst, and like, you should see my back. Like, I got the worst tan marks. Actually, I can share a picture with you. Actually, I took a picture today. I put it on my Facebook. Oh my gosh, 2 half days in the sun. I'll show you real quick. I'll share that. I couldn't believe it. Ben's like, "Don't go out in that top. It's your second day. You know yourself." And I'm like, but I need to get stuff planted, and yeah, I should
Yeah.
have not. Oh my gosh, it's so bad. Okay, I'm gonna share this with you.
Well, then you guys get a bunch of
There you go.
you guys get a bunch of sun in the summertime, right? Let's see here.
See that? That's
Yeah.
2 half days, man.
Wow.
2 half days.
Yeah, that's quite a quite a dark tan too for
I know.
2 days.
Oh man. I
So
hope that's not considered as like R-rated or something.
I don't think so. So
Okay.
I'm kind of wondering because is Ben can't I know he hasn't been in English ones too much because he doesn't like his how well he speaks English.
Yeah.
I guess what I got from it. So is he still camera shy too, or has he gotten used to being on camera?
No, he's still camera shy. Ben isn't like the kind of guy that he's not a very social butterfly like I am. Like, I'm the social butterfly of them all. And so I usually actually go out with the kids by myself, and I go have fun with the kids with my friends and stuff, and he'll stay at home and he'll relax, he'll chill, and he'll rest his back actually. And so for him, it's a lot, it's harder for him to like interact and stuff, but he's sort of getting used to it. Because Ben is so smart. He's got so much general knowledge, and he's getting into mycology, in the mushrooms and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he's getting into all these wild edibles and these wild plants, and he's taking a course on that. And he will like seriously memorize all the words, all the Latin names of all the things, like, so fast. And I'm like, how do you do that? And he'll get like this random general knowledge, and he'll just come up with it. Seriously, like, seriously, my ears want to fall off sometimes. Like, he will load my brain with stuff, and I'm like, man, you got to start a YouTube channel or something, because you need to like get that out there, and like, stop killing my ears right now, because oh my gosh, there's so much stuff. And I'm not necessarily always interested in the stuff, so I'm like trying to like stay focused and be like, okay, this is sort of interesting. Okay, this is interesting. So I have a hard time with that, because he's just got so much stuff to say. He really needs to start a podcast or something. I keep on telling him, like,
Especially in French. Like, what do you say? Like, the French stuff people are eating up. He should start sharing all this information in French, man.
Like, he's very opinionated too. Like, he's a very, very opinionated man, and he's got really smart opinions. Okay, I guess I can just say that way. He just wants to make sure that he doesn't come across as a douchebag or something like that,
Yeah.
So, or a whiner or a complainer, So I don't know.
And Dizzy Owl says that he did a great job on the mushroom video, and he loaded a few more of them.
Dizzy Owl, cool. She's awesome. She's a new subscriber of mine. She wrote an awesome comment on my 1,000 subscriber. She says, I'm binge watching all your videos and stuff. And I was like, wow, that's like the best comment like a YouTube creator can get. It's like, I've been getting so many of those comments these days, like, "Oh, I've been binge watching your content." I'm like, "Wow, that's so cool." So I love that.
Yeah. How has there been a moment like where you were like in tears of joy, like since you started your YouTube, like when you passed a certain goal or whatever, like it just really made you happy that you started doing it?
Um, yeah, yeah, definitely. Like Roku, when he did that 1,000 subscriber, I actually did shed a tear. I was like, wow, like somebody's doing this for me. That's just amazing. I can't believe that. Like Roku, seriously, I did. I shed a tear. I was like so happy. I was like, wow, like it came out of the blue like that. And he's like, yeah, like his live stream was Quebec Homestead. And I stayed live with him. And when we hit it, I was like, oh my gosh, like it literally got me into tears. And I was like, I can't believe somebody would do this for someone, and I was like, I'm gonna totally pay it forward to somebody one day. Definitely.
And
So
that's kind of why I was drawn to your channel because I can, I like people. I want people to succeed on YouTube that just really appreciate even like little small stuff happening.
acts of kindness, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it's great because I mean you have people coming in here from your community, so I'm excited for that because I want to get to know all these people too because um oh and yeah, of course he's going to mention that. So if you want to go back and see me cry when I got 100 subscribers, there you go. And that's how long he's been around.
Oh,
So it's like you're saying, just the community of people that you end up growing when you're genuine like that too is
yeah.
pretty amazing.
Like I will seriously watch somebody's video that I'm following that I'm so involved with, like in the Wood Squad. I think I was watching one of Tyler's videos, and I actually went into tears because he was like 7 days into the cold Wisconsin winter and the 7-day survival challenge, and he was talking about he was missing his girl and missing his wife, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, I felt like I was there with him, and I was literally thinking of like missing my family and stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I literally shed into tears because I it just really touched me, and I was like, man, I yeah, I got a sticker today. Tylerwood
That's
Bushcraft.
awesome.
Yeah. I got it in the mail like, I don't know, 2 months later because everything in Canada shipping so late.
Right, and takes such a while to get there and all that kind of stuff.
Crazy, yeah. So yeah, I
So
get really involved with the people that I watch like on a regular basis, and yeah.
yeah, yeah, it becomes part of your routine.
Mhm.
Watching those people's videos.
Yeah.
So
It's
if you had one thing to tell people like to go check out your channel, like what would you tell them? Like what's your little sound bite you like to tell people?
um well, man, I don't know. I don't know. I if you like seeing people mess up and live simply and yeah, have great gardens and an orchard and horses, then come to my channel. I don't know.
And a positive attitude and a
Oh,
good outlook on life, I would say too.
okay. There you go. There you go.
I'd add that as well.
Bob on the
And
spot. Yes, the Wickershire project.
yeah, and you're humble too.
Oh, thank
I'll
you.
throw that in there. That's probably why it was hard for you to come up with a little plug for yourself. But
Like
I do
actually had the hardest time. Like Ben's like, you have to put that, okay, push that like button and subscribe and stuff, and like that's why on my dancing in the woods video I did not do any of that. I just was like, you know what, I just want people to appreciate the creativity, and I want the work to speak for itself.
yeah,
So I mean, it didn't get me too many subscribers, so I probably should have.
right.
But I just really like me watching it back because I watch it so many times because I love Ben's. I love Julian's song, and
Right.
So I didn't want to like mess it up with that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I thought it was great, and you got to, you enjoy it the most, and you got the story of almost not making it out of it too. So, that's pretty cool for one video.
Yeah.
So, but I do want to thank you for being on, and my hours ran up. So, thank you everybody for being here. And I do this on Mondays usually. I made an exception for you because, you know, you got a lot going on up there and your season's short. So
Yeah, definitely. I have a Jean-Philippe Ross says, go see Quebec Homestead for real farm life, family style. There you go. He's from
there you
Quebec,
go.
so he's been following me for a little while.
There you go. Well, thank you. And thank you, everybody. And I'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you so much for having me on.
No problem. Thank you.